Our flash flood watch continues into much of central and eastern Kentucky. I'm tracking soaking rains on Defender just ahead.
A storm survey crew came out to assess damage in Bath County due to some storms from earlier this week. I'll have their report coming up.
A Richmond Public Works employee faces charges tonight after police say he used the city's money for himself.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon. Rounds of showers are still moving across the region tonight. Our WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day continues.
The heavy rain is causing some high water issues in places, and we're tracking the threat of flash flooding. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, who shows us what's on the First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, it's been the theme of the summer so far, flash flooding, and we're on guard for at least the localized threat as we go through the evening. A threatening sky right now showing up over top of Hamburg Pavilion in Lexington. Got a little passing shower, but even the showers are looking threatening on our live sky cam. A little sunshine providing some backlighting here. But we look at Defender. We've got rain across eastern Kentucky, bit of a break, then we ramp it back up again. And it's pockets that we're going to have to be concerned about. Pockets of some heavier rains as we go through the next few hours. Not a whole lot southeastern Kentucky left over. Big Sandy Valley back up into parts of Breathitt County. And then northward, we go through Frenchburg, Menifee County, Morgan County, Rowan, back into Bath County, where we had some significant high water issues earlier. Rain's here slowing down just a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Notice the break in the action, a little sliver of sun for parts of Cynthiana, parts of Paris, into Lexington. Here's that little shower we were just looking at on our live sky cam, and between Georgetown and Frankfort now, a slow mover is pushing through that particular area now. Hamburg Pavilion, getting ready to do a little shopping. Yeah, you're going to get wet here over the next 5-10 minutes or so, and some additional gusty rains are back to the west and southwest of us. Everything continues to spin around this area of low pressure that will continue to work its way right on top of the Bluegrass State over the next several hours. We will gradually turn the faucet off later tonight and tomorrow morning. I've got better weather to start the weekend when I come back in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. And while it's raining now, some places are still trying to clean up from Monday's storms.
The National Weather Service was in Bath County to get a look at some of the damage there. Jim Caldwell toured the damage with him. He tells us what caused it in our top story at 5:30.
It has been an extremely wet and stormy summer across central and eastern Kentucky. After taking a break for a few days, the pattern got a little active again on Monday. A cluster of storms sparked flash flooding and strong winds in many areas. Bath County was one of those.
It shows you the power of thunderstorm winds, and people kind of latch onto the word tornado, but it doesn't take a tornado to do a lot of damage.
The storm survey team was here today looking at some of the damage to make an assessment.
It looks to me like straight line wind damage. Most of the debris, I mean, it's pretty substantial debris and damage to trees and this barn. Everything's kind of blown in one direction, not much signs of rotation, so probably straight line wind damage up to 90 miles per hour.
And you can see right here, winds came rolling through this area and leveled this barn, a straight line wind that is, leveled it and then eventually pushed some of the debris all the way down the farm. Eventually it got caught up in the fence line. Winds to do that in this particular case were around 90 miles per hour. Winds like that are comparable to a low-end EF1 tornado. Parts of the barn were scattered half a mile to a mile in some cases. In Bath County, I'm WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
The area was also hit hard by flash flooding. The farmer that owns that barn tells us water didn't get high enough to cause any problems on his property, but it did keep him from assessing the damage until the waters receded. If you have eyewitness pictures or videos to send us, just look for the eyewitness section on WKYT.com or post them to our Facebook and Twitter pages using the hashtag KYWeather.
A public works employee is accused of using city money for himself. Richmond police say William Settle used a city fuel card to buy gas for his personal vehicle. Settle is charged with theft by unlawful taking. Sean Moody has a look at the arrest citation, and he tells us how police say they caught Settle in a story that's new at 5:30.
A Richmond police officer wrote in William Settle's arrest citation that he admitted to using a city fuel card multiple times over the past year to put gas into his own personal vehicle. The Richmond mayor says that Settle has worked here in the Public Works Department for the past 14 years or so. Richmond police said their investigation began yesterday afternoon. They say the Richmond Public Works Department told them that someone had been fraudulently using a misappropriated city fuel card to buy gas for a vehicle that wasn't one of theirs. As investigators looked into the case, they said they found that someone had used that card to buy more than $500 worth of fuel from the city's fuel supplier over the past year. They said someone saw Settle using that card to put gas into his personal vehicle at those city supplier pumps. Police said detectives confronted Settle, found the misappropriated card, and interviewed him at the police station. They arrested him, charging him with theft by unlawful taking $500 to $10,000. Mayor Jim Barnes said Settle was suspended until further review. He said this was the first time he was aware of that anyone had been accused of something like this. Now, we tried to reach out to Settle to get his side of this story, but we weren't able to get in touch with him. In Richmond, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Police say they're still trying to figure out how much money the city lost. Earlier today, the Richmond Board of Commissioners says they accepted the resignation of the new city manager. James Hogg was hired to become the next city manager, but immediately stepped down. Hogg told the board he did not want to start his tenure as city manager with any sort of controversy. He used to be the budget director for Somerset. According to the Richmond Register, earlier this week, the state auditor said Hogg misappropriated about $3,000.
A grand jury will hear the case of a man accused of leading police on a chase through 2 central Kentucky counties. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Boyle County. Police say Marion Fisher led them on a chase through Boyle and Mercer counties. Officers tell us Fisher also hit some police cruisers along the way. Our Monique Blair actually ended up in the middle of that chase and was there when the crash ended behind a home in Harrodsburg. During the chase, police say Fisher had a woman in the car. Fisher has been charged with kidnapping, evading police, wanton endangerment, and DUI. In Montgomery County, another trial date has been set for a double murder suspect. Attorneys tell us Lonnie Martin will go before a judge in February for the case involving the death of his cousin, Joseph Martin, 10 years ago. Martin is also accused of the 2013 murder of Kyla Klein, who was from Clark County. The case involving his cousin's murder was supposed to start in September, but attorneys say they are waiting on an additional DNA testing. In Madison County, a woman claims she found a bag of dead dogs near a dumpster in Richmond. The interim city manager tells us the woman was walking along Atwood Drive when she found the bag. The city manager does not know if anyone is investigating right now because he's not sure there would be any way to figure out who those dogs belong to. The dogs were buried today.
New tonight, a judge has dismissed a wrongful death lawsuit against attorney Eric C. Kahn. The widow of one of Kahn's former clients filed the suit, claiming her husband's suicide was a direct result of him losing disability benefits. Her late husband was one of hundreds of people who received letters from the Social Security Administration saying their disability payments had been suspended. The Floyd County Circuit Judge ruled the motion made by Kahn's legal team to dismiss the case was supported by the law. Attorneys plan to file a motion to vacate the dismissal. Kahn is accused of using fraudulent information to secure disability benefits. He has not been charged with a crime.
2 years after a police officer in Nelson County was killed in the line of duty, police are still looking for his killer. Meanwhile, friends and co-workers are keeping Officer Jason Ellis's memory alive with events and fundraisers. The latest event is scheduled for this weekend. For the 3rd year in a row, a poker run is being put together in Ellis's honor. And organizers hope this event attracts not just bikers, but tips as well.
It's 2 years plus, and we're like, why not how it usually works? Why not that piece of the puzzle that we need to get something going towards the right direction?
This year, proceeds from the poker run will go to the Fraternal Order of Police Old Kentucky Home Lodge 43, where Ellis was a member. The lodge recently set up a scholarship in Ellis's name and said money raised will go toward that and community outreach programs. Registration starts Saturday at 9:30 at Joe Hill's Victory on South Salem Drive in Bardstown.
Health officials in Fayette County are still working on details for a needle exchange program, but tonight we know when the program will begin. The Lexington-Fayette County Health Department says the program will be offered from 1:30 until 4 p.m. on Fridays starting September 4th. It'll be at the Health Department location at 650 Newtown Pike. A memorial service for Urban County Councilman Ed Lane has been rescheduled. Lane died over the weekend after a battle with cancer. Lane was also the publisher of the Lane Report, a well-known business news magazine. He'd represented the 12th District in the Urban County Council since 2005. A memorial service will now be Saturday, August 15th at 4 in the afternoon at the Hillary J. Boone Center on UK's campus.
Our good question is one that you might be asking each time you watch the news. Why are notices appearing across the faces of people accused of crimes? Well, oftentimes we, along with other media, show jailhouse pictures like this one or mugshots of people accused of crimes. The company that many law enforcement agencies use to manage their records started adding the copyright notice across mugshots. WKYT, the Kentucky Press Association, and other media have appealed to the Kentucky Jailers Association to get the copyright notices stopped or changed. Mugshots can't be copyrighted. Under state law, they're public record, and the notices obscure people's faces. If you have a good question, all you have to do is go to WKYT.com.
Kentucky Senator Rand Paul calls the indictment of one of his aides a distraction. Still ahead on WKYT News at 5:30, how his aide's legal trouble is affecting the campaign.
We're looking into the issues and the candidates that matter to you. I'm Jacqueline Policastro at the Republican debate. Coming up, we'll show you what people around the country are talking about.